about yourself?
I'm doing all right. What can we help you out with today?
I was looking for a replacement for these here shoes.
Oh yeah, those are the old ASICS Gel-Cumulus. How long have you had those for?
Maybe 6 or 7 months.
Yeah, well, those are the original ones from 1999, so we're going on over 25 years ago on those, but they've held up well for you?
Oh, no, not at all. In fact, I want a refund.
A refund? I don't know if we could do a refund for you, but I do have the new ASICS Gel-Cumulus 26. 26 years of technology has gone into this shoe from the original ones that you have worn.
That feels pretty good in my paw here.
This would be a perfect shoe for someone with your stature. Has really good support and all that.
Can I put them on?
Of course, if you can survive the ordeal.
These feel pretty good.
Feel pretty good?
Yeah.
Why don't you give them a test drive, see what you think of them.
I think I might do that.
All right, let's see what you're made of.
A few moments later.
So, how'd those feel for you?
You know what? I feel pretty good.
Start off with the ASICS Gel-Cumulus 26. What I'm gonna do is run a half mile in this guy, and then we'll swap right over to this guy. Try on these puppies right here. I had to tape the little edges here because they're so frayed. I'm not sure if I want to replace them or just keep them super authentic. Let me know what I should do. Look at that. That's like the only thing about these shoes that's really like messed up right now.
What a special moment, ladies and gentlemen. We are wearing the first ASICS Gel-Cumulus from 1999. I feel this is a very special moment for me because this is a shoe that I grew up running in all throughout middle school, high school, college, and to find it online for literally 35 bucks in a size that I could squeeze my foot in. I'm kind of nerding out right now. Sam proposed the question a couple minutes ago. What are the odds that there is somebody in the world right now wearing this exact shoe? Probably zero. And as for the last time somebody actually wore it, when do you think? Maybe years?
When's the last time someone's even run in that shoe? Like,
who knows? Yeah, just doing a half mile. Probably will never run in it again. I'm actually at 0.6 right now, but I'll keep going. As for how it feels, I'm pleasantly surprised by the cushion. I don't know what I was expecting going into it, but it's not that bad. I will say you can tell there's like a brick in the heel. The technology's really outdated. It feels like it's just sitting weird in my arch. It's not uncomfortable, but it's just different. You can tell once again it's old. It's honestly, compared to how it stacks up against other shoes, I'd say it feels the most similar to maybe the Brooks Ghost. The new Brooks Ghost might be a little bit softer now, but it's not that different. Great shoe, if you can get your hands on it. Probably won't, but I definitely recommend it. I've decided to go a full mile here just really take it in. This is a special moment for all the shoe nerds out there. I think the next shoe on my list that I'd like to acquire that's realistic is probably the Mizuno Wave Rider. I found it online last time on StockX. It was in my size of 9 for about 140 bucks. As for other relics, I'm having a hard time, but the fact that I was able to find this was just really fortunate.
I wonder where like a Brooks Ghost one would be.
Yeah, and funny enough, a couple minutes ago, we just talked to our Brooks rep, Courtney, and she's actually gonna potentially try and find something for us. Maybe like the Ghost one or the original Glycerin. We'll just have to see. Should have worn a hat.
99. 100.
Another thing, I'm naturally more prone to land on my forefoot. I mean, you can just tell by looking at it, the stack height isn't quite there compared to new shoes. So it's definitely quite hard up front, but in the back, I felt really supported. And once again, the cushion felt fine. Whoever had this shoe in the past really took good care of it. Looks like an animal got a hold of this one, but there's your OG Gel-Cumulus from 1999. So now we've arrived at the part you've all been waiting for. Our comparison of the ASICS Gel-Cumulus 26 and the original from 1999. Just got a half-mile run in this guy, and I went for a full mile in this guy because it just felt wrong not to. I will probably never run in these again though, because they mean too much to me. Whoever took care of these though in the past, whoever owned these, they did a really good job like taking care of them. Even when I got them, you could tell he like cleaned the inside very thoroughly. And unfortunately yesterday, I wasn't even drinking, but I knocked a beer out of someone's hand, so now this shoe actually smells like an IPA. I was very impressed with the shoe. I wore it yesterday for a couple hours just around the town, you know, just to get a feel for it. It's softer than I thought it was going to be. I don't know what I was expecting. I am a 90s baby, by the way, so I did grow up with shoes like this. I had no clue what to expect. Definitely, once again, I felt there's something heavy going on right here. You can just tell it's an outdated shoe. It wasn't uncomfortable, like I said previously, but it really kind of sat in my arch a little bit differently than something like a shoe that's more modern would. I mean, obviously, the more modern shoes, they just have this kind of smooth transition from that heel to toe when you walk, regardless of whether or not you land on the heel or the forefoot. So now let's kind of talk a little bit about the specs. A lot of them were really difficult to dig up because, well, I mean, this one, obviously very easily to find info on. This one, not so much, and it's just been confirmed. I reached out to the ASICS rep, and he told me it's very unlikely they kept any sort of track record of any of the specs on the shoe, which I think is kind of weird, but, you know, regardless, I'm gonna say the shoe's probably about an 8mm drop. When I put both of these on, they feel pretty similar based on where my heel is situated relative to the toe. So take that piece with a grain of salt. As for everything else, I've kind of done a decent amount of research on. Just weighed the shoes. I'm gonna put them on the screen now. This shoe, I was only able to find it in a men's size 8, which is like a size too small for me, but it's enough for me to shove my foot into. But I obviously was a little uncomfortable in it just for that. This is a men's size 9, and believe it or not, even a full size down, this shoe is significantly heavier. I mean, when you pick it up, you can just tell there's a difference. You can tell that technology has really advanced. The cushion in this is much more soft, even though in this rendition of the Cumulus, they really kind of slimmed it up, which I'm still not sure how I feel about it in comparison to the 25. Got a Cumulus 25 right here. I picked such a fun color. It really suits me. It suits all of you watching. This one compared to the 26, it's definitely softer. I actually like this version of the Cumulus a little bit more than the new one. Get out of here. Do you have anything you'd like to note, Sam? Would you like to cameo?
I don't know.
He's shy. All right. Anyway.
I don't know if I have anything.
I mean, what would you say? What were they going for?
Shoe I've ever seen.
What would you say they were going for with this? Like, they definitely slimmed it out. Here,
Yes.
get in here.
Yeah, so this shoe, I feel like I've watched a lot of like reviews on it, and I feel like ASICS kind of lost their way a little bit with this one, just because it doesn't really have a space that makes any sense in their lineup, because you have the Nimbus as the max cushion shoe, and this is supposed to be like the mid-level cushion shoe, kind of a step
It doesn't
down.
feel like a mid-level
But
cushion shoe anymore.
There's a couple things that, yeah, exactly. You have like the Nova Blast, which is a little bit less cushion than the Nimbus, more exciting. It's the same price as this. And why would you get this when you can get the Nova Blast?
I agree.
And then the other thing that they did with this that I really hate when shoe companies do, I just think it is just a terrible decision, is they put no outsole rubber on it. Like, it's just a rubberized EVA foam.
Yeah, so let's get into the rubber real quick here and kind of compare. So yeah, if you want to get into the Cumulus 26's
so,
outsole.
Well, the problem with the outsole like this, that like a couple other shoes that I can think of that are kind of similar to it would be like the old Hoka Mach or like the Kinvara, the Saucony Kinvara. But yeah,
We're going to have to take a breather here. Customer walked in. Once again, kind of harping on the Cumulus 26 and how we're probably not as fond of it as we are in comparison to maybe the 25. It's not just a foam thing. They really slimmed this guy out, but also it's the outsole here. It's the rubber, or the lack thereof. As you can see here, there's nothing, which kind of worries me. That was the only time I've ever ran in the shoe, so maybe you guys can kind of attest to its durability as well as its traction, because I don't really know, other than that half mile I did on the treadmill there. But now, you go back to the 25 even, you can see it's got that rubber here, and where is it? If you look closely, it's black. You can't really read it, but right here, it says AHAR. Now, interestingly enough, if you go to the bottom of the Cumulus from 99, what does that say? AHAR. It's got the same sort of rubber here. Definitely in places it's not really necessary. I thought this was kind of interesting. If you look, here, let me use the 26. Look how the bottom is just flat across, but then right here you have like this little groove. And I think that's what I was feeling in my arch there. Whatever it wasn't that unpleasant feeling, but I felt something going on right here. So I'd imagine this hard piece of plastic, foam, whatever you want to call it, was kind of settling in there. So maybe in a longer sort of run that could cause issues. I'm not going to find out. This pair, obviously, the one issue I have with it, I mean, it's a okay issue to have, is just the laces are totally chalked, and I'm still not sure if I'm going to replace them or not. It's kind of like that old story, like if you have a ship and you replace all of the wood and every piece, is it still the same ship that you had before? I don't know if I want to do that yet. Let's quickly talk about just the materials you can see here, and I want to note once again, it's literally impossible to find anything on this shoe. I don't think they kept track of anything. I searched for like several hours this morning, just coming up short, but it's just so funny because right here, you've got this sort of leather material. It's just so different. It's night and day compared to what you see today. The mesh here, it's just so much, I don't even know like how to describe it. It's just so much thicker compared to, you can just tell it's been so much more developed. That's all you need to know. I mean, the mesh is just crazy different. It's got little reflective bits on here on the front on the 26, a little bit on the back, and this actually surprised me as well. This one has reflective bits as well right here. We were walking back home yesterday and they were like, your shoes are reflecting. I'm like, I didn't know that. So kind of cool. Obviously, we've got our gel here. It looks like it's encased in plastic to protect it here, but all of which seems to still be intact. The previous owner did a good job once again of keeping the shoe nice and clean and taken care of. There's still a bit of tread left on here. I would still wager it's safe to run in. Another big change here is obviously the tongue. I mean, when you think of the 90s and even the 2010s, a lot of shoes, even today, they still have this big fat tongue. Some people like it. I'm more indifferent to it, but I think I prefer the tongue that you would get in something like the new ASICS models. The gel-nimbus does it beautifully. I mean, it's just more like it just kind of hugs you a little bit better, and it doesn't seem to dig in. Kind of like a stealth fit that you would find. So I definitely like the improvement. You've got this little latch right here to kind of adjust it more easily. Just little subtle intricacies in the shoes that they weren't really looking at in the past. And then just this big fat ASICS logo. Look at it just jutting out in your face. It wants to be seen rather than just this guy that kind of hugs the shoe. It's one seamless sort of material. The laces here on this guy were also rounded. I'm also indifferent to laces. I don't really care if they're flat or rounded. I don't really pay much attention to that. But as you can see on the Cumulus 26, they're flat. The look is also much more modern on the 26, as you can probably imagine. Just kind of look right here at the heel on this original version, how it's just kind of flat. And then here, on the new Cumulus, it kind of kicks out. And I think that really is just for aesthetic. I don't really think it plays much of a role in anything. Now, the geometry of the new shoe is just so much more efficient. You can see how it almost forms this U shape. It's not really as pronounced in this shoe as it is in some other ones, like for instance, the new gel-nimbus, which is essentially I refer to as the big brother or sister of the cumulonimbus family. The EVA foam is still there. It's just giving you a kind of more responsive ride. I mean, there is nothing responsive about this shoe. It's a brick, to make a long story short. Back in the day, I'm sure, man, you were winning races, you were kicking ass in it, but not today, unfortunately. The outsole on the Cumulus 26 is called the Fluid Ride. It's just a combination of rubberized EVA foam. I still do not like how they removed the rubber. I'm gonna keep harping on that. I hope they bring it back. Now, as for price, the all mid-level cushion shoes, for the most part, at least what I've seen, they're 140 bucks. This one is no different. When this guy was on the market, I would wager it was under 100 bucks, probably in the $80 range. Yeah, times have changed, things are more expensive. Welcome to inflation. I would have definitely recommended this shoe to anybody who was getting a shoe back in '99, and I hope it makes a comeback, maybe not so much for running, but more so for just aesthetic purposes, because I really felt like I was standing out in the crowd. I really just felt like I was attracting eyes, getting attention, and that's what I'm looking for. I mean, that's why I post to YouTube, obviously. I guess this guy belongs in his little glass box for all eternity. I will display it with honor and pride and love. Ladies and gentlemen, the ASICS Gel-Cumulus. If you guys know of any shoes that you'd like me to do next, let me know. I'll see if I can make it happen. Once again, I think I really lucked out on finding this guy, and I still find myself mesmerized by looking at it. I never thought I'd get this guy in my paws. I mean, I saw one other pair. It was pristine condition, size 11 though, a little too big on me, but it was selling for $2,200. And I'm like, I can't do that. I got this for $35 plus 11 bucks shipping. For a size 8, a little bit too small for me. I needed a 9 to be perfect. I'll take that trade-off. Want to know where my life currently stands right now? I'm at work today, and I'm not even on the clock. I'm just here doing what I describe as a side quest, doing that shoe review, and I felt like it was fitting to do it here rather than at home. And also because I don't actually own the new Cumulus, so it just made sense for me to be here. I brought a bunch of my stuff to keep me busy, because I'll probably be here for a few hours, and right now I'm taking my lunch break. I've actually been doing this quite a bit recently. I find that it's better for me to be around people while I work. For the longest time, I always did my work in solitude, and I just think I'm kind of over it at the moment. Maybe I'll go back to that lifestyle in the future, but right now it's just, I think it's like for instance, when I'm trying to do my artwork at home. By the way, this taco bowl, this shredded cheese taco bowl with this corn salsa, and I don't know what's in this green sauce, but it's so good. I'm gonna mix it in there. I've had this once before. Ooh, yeah, there's also rice and beans at the bottom. It's hard for me to make art at home because psychologically, or just any sort of productive work, because it's psychologically like impossible for me to separate work from the fact that I'm home, because I know when I'm home I'm just like, I don't feel like doing this. I'm gonna walk to the fridge, or I'm gonna go outside and play basketball or turn on the Xbox. It's just a recipe for disaster. I find that if I just come here on days that I'm off, normally like Sam or Maddie or whoever is here, I can take little breaks, little intermissions to chat with them and fuck around. But there's like this nice couch set up by the door. I bring my laptop and whatever other projects I might be working on, and I just sit there and I get work done. It's been working. I've been doing it. This is probably like my third or fourth time doing this in the past week or two. It's a game changer. It's always so chillax here. Like, nobody gives a shit. It's great. It's not like I'm walking into a top secret like area on my day off and they're like, what are you doing here? Get the hell out, right? Trying to make it in this world. These also aren't my gooders. I just grabbed a pair off the wall because it's bright and I felt like sitting outside, and partially because I don't like recording in front of people, so it made sense to come out here where I can be alone with you, my friends. And it's another thing too, because I have this like vendetta with stretching at home for some reason. I just can't wrap my mind around like doing that because it feels like such a waste of time. So like when I'm here, even if I'm not working technically, I'll stretch. Like I just stretched right before this for like 45 minutes and I needed that. I ran 8 miles this morning and I'm gonna run another 8 later, which you'll probably see. I've had enough out here though. It's really hot and there's not a cloud in the sky. I'm just getting blinded, so I'm gonna finish this inside. I'm in the dressing room right now. Just needed some privacy, you know. I'm about to spend an entire 8-hour shift at work without ever clocking in. I'm doing this on my own choosing. Some of you may watch my videos and get the impression that this is all planned. No, it's actually just made up on the spot. I have no clue what I'm doing at any given time. Fortunately, I seem to do well when things are a little chaotic. I'm actually more kept together in those scenarios. Oh, I wanted to show you this too. So I didn't just get those Cumies for no reason. I didn't just get them because I like them as a shoe. I'm also really into like 80s and 90s fashion, and it just felt like they suited me, you know? I was born in the wrong generation, but I saw this hat, which I just bought. I mean, like, how fitting is this thing? I saw that and I immediately knew it was me. I needed a new hat, by the way, because Walter tore up my old Sprints hat with the dinosaurs on it. That was pretty devastating. Now it sits in the graveyard, aka our backyard. If there's one thing I'm good at, though, it's keeping myself occupied.
Welcome to Pro Bike and Run. I just wanted everyone in the Pittsburgh area to know we do have a fitting room, and there's a door.
What happened?
You would assume that people would know that if it's a fitting room, but yesterday I had the lucky moment of walking out that door right there with a pair of shoes for a customer, and I just happened to glance over and there was a man, butt-ass naked, changing into bike shorts, and I was like, I just pretended I didn't see it, move on with my day, because what am I going to do? Be like, hey man, you can close the door, while he's like swinging his parts everywhere. Like, I'm not my place, but yeah, there is a door. Look at it, it slides. It works really well. It even has a hook.
Whoa. Let's get out of here, folks. Got the whole Salek clan. Got my kicks, don't worry. Put in a full 8-hour shift. And I'm making $0 for it, so, you know, if you want to make me feel a little bit better, you could always click that subscribe button and like the video. Thank you. Oh, man. Still gotta run, dude. I hate my life.
Tina, what is this? What is this?
Oh,
Tina, I'm gonna whack.
Oh, you got my shoe! Give that back!
Tina, what is this? You won't make eye contact with me. Tina, you bastard.
Oh, you committed crimes! Give me my shoe back. We're about to head out for our run here, and we're trying to order food so it's like ready when we get back. We're looking at Bravo. I'm normally a big pizza guy when it comes to this place, but this Pasta Bravo looks busted. We call Walt Tina whenever he acts up. Like, whenever he steals clothes, he gets to wear them, so, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so a couple things. First off, obviously, going on another run. This is, I guess, technically my 4th run of the day. Did 8 this morning when I woke up. And the initial plan was to do 8 and 8. And then went to work, tried out the shoes, did a half mile in one pair of shoes, and then a full mile in the other. That's 9.5. So yeah, I've got 6.5 more miles to go this evening, nice and chill. I got a nice stretch in. I stretched for like 45 minutes. And I'm gonna be wearing the Mizuno Wave Rider 27s for this one. Which, honestly, their time is beckoning. They are just about done. I don't keep track of miles, but I can just tell by the tread. They're getting there. I am in love with this hat. I hope you guys are too. And if you're not, I don't care. But look at this. Look what he did to my dinosaur hat. So, we pull into the driveway, right? I get out, I reach in for my bag, and I don't even know how I managed to do this, but I swung the door open, and it crushed me in my hip. My hip is black and blue right now. And I made like a little scene. There were a bunch of kids with some mom, I guess. But yeah, doing 6.5 right now. 2 miles in. I'm gonna take a quick pee break here. So I just wanted to point out, notice anything different about me? Get in there. You see that? See that? Yeah, got that yesterday from, yeah, just a little gift. Needed a new watch, so it's the Garmin Forerunner 165. It's very nice. Yeah, my old watch was probably pushing 10 years old, and it just couldn't carry on anymore.
His old watch was my old watch that I gave to him.
But I stopped taking it out for runs months ago because it just was pointless. I memorized all the mile markers anyway, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, I felt knackered. Felt like a part of me was missing. I think one of the last runs I took with it, we were in Stillwater a few weeks ago. It hit the first mile at 2 minutes, and then 10 seconds later I hit mile 2. It was a miraculous speed. 3.25. Lap them up. Let's go home. For the love of God, slow down. I am dying. She keeps picking up the pace. I can't do it right now. Six and a half. Let's go. Nice solid 16-mile day. That puts us at 48 for the week. And actually, it's a little deceiving because Monday I ran 5 and then Wednesday I took off. So in 3 days I've ran 43 miles. Got our food. It's been one heck of a long day. Our Grubhub order got canceled So I was just in the shower just thinking about my pasta, and I come downstairs to hear the news that it just didn't go through, so we had to go and get it personally, which sucked. But you will not believe, as a runner, what we saw was probably...
It was so bad.
It
It
was-
was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was the most jaw-dropping moment I've ever seen pertaining to shoes. This... Alright, I'm not one to gatekeep...
Let me get in here.
Get over here, get over here. I'm not one to gatekeep, but this was too far. This was too far.
It was too far.
We park, and I look over, there's this woman and this gentleman, you know, they're going on a nice little evening date, it's Friday, and what do I see on her feet?
He's the one who noticed it. This woman is just walking into Bravo with Alpha Fly 3s on. And if you don't know what that shoe is...
Isn't it like
it's-
$280?
No, yeah, it's $285,
$280.
which is insane, first of all. But like, here's the other thing. That shoe, it's like Nike's most premium race day shoe. That's what like the marathon world record has been set in. It's not for walking around, it's for
It
racing.
is always sold out.
Yes, and it's a limited edition shoe. Like they don't make a lot of them.
I think
So,
collectively, we all gasped.
Yeah.
That was tough. That really settled in.
You can't buy them, and then the fact that this woman's like not using them for her intended purpose and like basically taking them away from someone who could be using it for its intended purpose, like literally hurt all of our souls deeply.
When I went to go get my first carbon-plated shoe, I got the Vaporfly. I had a very difficult time getting it. And at the time, that shoe was, you know, it probably wasn't the most sought-after shoe. I could be wrong, but still, I had a really difficult time. So that cut me deep, and yeah, do better, lady. Do better.
If you're watching this,
If you're
All right.
watching this, you're a disgrace.
I'm eating. I'm going to bed. See ya.